What's up, guys? Max Finn here. Now I'm going to try something different on today's video. As you guys know, if you watch my stuff in the past, I can talk, I can ramble and rant and all that stuff. And sometimes there's a gem in there. Sometimes it's just me talking for a long period of time, and I apologize for that. So what I want to try to do with some upcoming YouTube videos and pieces of content I create is giving like a specific piece of actionable advice, something that's been impactful to my personal life, professional life, and kind of sharing that in a condensed way, quick tip, and we call it a day. How does that sound? Sound good? If you like this format, if you like this style, as always, be sure to hit that little subscribe button that pops up right there. Drop a comment, drop a like, all that good stuff. Now let's dive in. Okay. So this is something I've been sharing with a lot of friends lately, a lot of people on social that follow me because it's been so impactful to me, both personally and professionally. And it has to do with productivity, and it has to do specifically with how I schedule my time and schedule my week. Now, there's a lot of great books out there and pieces of content on there on like things like Atomic Habits and stuff that are amazing. Right? I'm not going to go that deep in terms of how to schedule your day and how to get tasks done and how to form habits and all that stuff. This is actually pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Basically, what I realized is the bigger my businesses grew and the more businesses that I became owners in, either as an investor or a founder, partner, whatever it is, the more businesses that I kind of touched and had an involvement in, the more my calendar filled up, to the point where I'm sure if you're watching this and you're a business owner, you're a C-suite, you're an entrepreneur, you're a founder, you can relate with this. You look at your calendar, you wake up Monday morning, you're like, my entire day is just calls. And then guess what? Tuesday, same thing. And then Wednesday, same thing. And then Thursday, same thing. And Friday, same thing. And all of a sudden you get to Friday afternoon, you look at the calendar and you're like, the week's over and I got nothing done. There's nothing worse than being busy, being exhausted, but actually not getting anything done. And that's my opinion. I think a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people, that is the way they go through their life, is they're busy and they conflate being busy with being productive, right? And hey, that may work if you're just a 9-to-5 employee, right? You're just getting your paycheck. You're in there checking in, checking out. So you don't really care how productive you are. Obviously, if you're a go-getter, self-starter, and you want to make bonuses and progress, you care. But a lot of people don't. There's like, this is a job, a paycheck. I'm going to go there, busy work, I'm out. So I don't really care. But if you're like me, if you're like, entrepreneurs, if you're that type A person, you don't want to just be busy for the sake of being busy. You want to get stuff done. I would rather have somebody working for me that works 3 hours a day, but gets all their crap done and then some, than somebody that works 8, 9, 10 hours, but gets nothing done. Like, isn't that super productive? So here's what I started doing. I started looking at, and this is not just me, my partner Jeremy and I started doing this about probably a year and a half ago. We said, okay, when we have calls, it throws our entire day off. Right. And even if you have like 2 or 3 calls a day, what ends up happening is you get out of the flow state. So if you have a call at 9, then a call at 11, then a call at 1, then a call at 3, that's even worse because you can't get into any deep work, because as soon as you're done the call, your mind's still on the call, then you start working again. By the time you can get into a flow state, which usually takes 30 plus minutes, 30 minutes to an hour to really get into the work, now you're kind of checked back out, getting ready for the next call. So you're never getting into that true flow state. So we started doing it, saying, okay, we have all these calls, they're important. Let's first get rid of all the calls that aren't that important. So are there calls that we can either do monthly or quarterly meetings that are longer form? Are there calls that we can actually just turn into Slack conversations? Hey, we'll just talk about this in Slack. We'll do a Slack update once a day. We'll do a Slack check-in, right? You don't have to hop on a call with me, do a check-in. Okay, we got rid of all those. Now what we're going to do is all the important calls that are left over, leadership calls, C-suite calls, all that stuff. We're going to stack those Monday to Wednesday. So that's what we do. So basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are our call days. Those are the only days, if you want to book a call with me, if you want to book a call with Jeremy, you want to get on the phone with us and actually have a meeting, they happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. Thursday, Friday, we keep completely free. Our calendars are completely free. They are untouched. Ronnie, our assistant, kind of our head of HR, she knows, like, I'm not touching those days. Those days are off limits. Okay. With the rare exception, right? There's something that's like crazy, massive potential deal, and the executive of this billion-dollar company can only talk on a Thursday. We'll occasionally make an exception, but rarely, right? It has to be something really, really unique, super time sensitive, where nothing else works. But for the most part, 99% of the time, we're not budging on that. So the reason why I love this is because now Thursdays and Fridays, I know mentally going to those days, I can be hyper productive. I can spend time brainstorming. I can spend time problem solving. I can spend time reading, listening to podcasts, self-improvement. I could spend time meditating. I could spend time, I can really spend time being hyper productive or taking care of myself. I can spend time doing some family stuff. I can spend time doing whatever I want to do that's most important to me on those 2 days without the interruptions. Now, of course, we still have Slack open. Of course, we still have email open, but you should get better at how you check those things. Don't just check them every few minutes, right? Have windows that you check those things. And if it's an emergency, somebody can call you. Not like call you, but like they can, shoot you a text like an emergency, right? So you can set your notifications on your phone for emergency things. But again, that has to be a hyper emergency. Your team knows that, right? Make sure your team knows, like, don't text me something that can be solved by somebody else on the team. So again, Thursday and Friday now, we basically have 10 plus hours of completely uninterrupted, unfiltered, unedited work time, productivity time, where we can do whatever we want. I can create content. I could brainstorm for big problems. I could help solve big problems. I could strategize. There's so much stuff I can do. I can just read books, right? Learn. I want to get better and smarter and learn. Maybe I'm like thinking about a problem that I have, and there's some books that I read in the past that can solve that problem that, like, I remember. I'm going to go back and read those books, right? So there's so much that I can do there, and I know that I can do that in a complete uninterrupted fashion. So that's a tip for today. Everyone I've told this to that's actually done it has noticed just dramatic increases and improvements in productivity, not just in productivity, but also happiness, right? Because when you can get stuff done, you're happier. Because when you don't, what ends up happening is you work really hard, but you're not getting stuff done. So you're frustrated. You're like, I'm still working hard, but I'm not getting stuff done. I'm not getting ahead. That's the worst place to be mentally. It impacts your personal life, professional life. You end up having to work extra hours to play catch up, which impacts your family life. So it's a disaster. Don't do that. So anybody I've told this, like, that's done it, huge impacts. And again, maybe you can't do 2 days. Maybe you're just getting started. Try just Fridays. A lot of people, that's what they start out with. It's like, okay, I'm going to become Friday is my no call day. And then once you get that, and you've done that for a few weeks, few months, try Thursdays. Try doing 2 days a week. Try doing 1.5 days a week. See how far you can push it. But I can promise you, if Jeremy and I, if we're able to do 2 full days a week without calls with how many companies we own, I promise that you can do it. Unless you're multi-billionaire watching this who owns like 50 companies. Maybe you can't. But at that point, you probably have lots of advisors, lots of CEOs, probably even need to work less than we do. So I don't think there's any real good excuses for not being able to do it. It's really just a matter of prioritizing that. Prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your productivity, your happiness, all that good stuff. So there you have it. A little quicker, I promise. Usually I think my videos like 15, 20 minutes. So we're at 7.5 minutes, so a little faster. I'll keep doing better in future videos. But as always, guys, if you enjoyed the videos, you enjoy the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get all my videos. And let me know in the comments, did you like the shorter form stuff? Do you want me to do shorter form content? What type of topics, what type of content would you like me to cover in future videos? All ears, always looking for suggestions, constructive criticism, feedback, all that good stuff. So let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.